Hi, this is Tom from Vino 100 with your video wine tip this week. Today I wanted to touch upon Cote du Rhone wines. Cote du Rhones are red, white, or rosé wines that come from the Rhone region of France. And they're generally blends. Now we're going to focus on reds and we'll touch upon a white as well. But in order for a red wine to be called a Cote du Rhone, it's got to be at least 40% Grenache. They're generally blends, and they're either blends of Grenache, Syrah, Mourvèdre, Carignan, Cinsault, and there's a bunch of other obscure grape varietals that can be mingled in with the mix and still enable the wine to be called Cote du Rhone. But the main ingredient or the main grape varietal is often Grenache. It's got to be at least 40% Grenache in order for the wine to be called a Cote du Rhone. So this is from a state called the Grivlière. It's a straight Cote du Rhone. I'm going to mention in a little bit that there's a pecking order or hierarchy within the Rhone region that kind of climbs up a tier of quality. This is a straight Cote du Rhone, fantastic wine. It's very fruit forward, mainly Grenache, touch of Syrah. It's fruit forward as most Cote du Rhones are. They're fruity, light. They have a nice level of richness that make it very food friendly, but they're very approachable and they're beautiful wines. This is from an 09 vintage. 09 vintage in the Rhone region was spectacular. It's a very high-end tasting wine for $10 a bottle. It's got dark berry flavor, rich and fruity, kind of ends nice and earthy on the finish, and it's got a high-end quality to it. So let's give this one a shot. One step up in the hierarchy within Cote du Rhone is the Cote du Rhone Village. A wine can be called Cote du Rhone Village if it comes from a specific village within the Rhone region, and there's designated villages where the wines can come from, and which will enable the wine to be called Cote du Rhone Village. This is from an estate called Loris. It's an 06. It's a much bigger wine than the straight Cote du Rhone. It's predominantly Grenache. It's got a little bit of Syrah and Mourvèdre in it. Mourvèdre gives it a little bit more of a tannic backbone, which this one has. It's concentrated, big and rich, tannic, and it ends very earthy and dense. This one is a blend of two different appellations, Rostau and Chyron. And it's a beautiful wine. It's $20 a bottle, but you get a lot of bang for your buck for 20 bucks. It's a great bottle of wine and very high-end tasting. So this is another one to try, Loris. One level up in the hierarchy of Rhone wines is where they say Cote du Rhone Village, and it specifically says an appellation. This is 100% from the appellation of Chyron. Delicious wine. It's, again, mainly Grenache, a little Syrah, Mourvèdre. Delicious, dense, leathery, earthy, very French in style. Not as concentrated as the Loris, but it's also a big wine, very high-end tasting. It's got a little more earthiness to it, and it's not as fruit forward as the Loris. And this one is also $20 a bottle. But again, for $20, you get a real bang for your buck. It has a real high-end quality. And lastly, when speaking about red Cote du Rhones or red Rhone wines, there's a cru category. They just say the appellation, and many of them you may have heard of before. Châteauneuf-du-Pape, Gigondas, Baccarat. This is a Baccarat that I have. It's predominantly Grenache. It's more concentrated, or very concentrated, not that tannic. It's very smooth in the finish, but it's a real dense fruit. This one got 90 points in the Wine Spectator. It's got some nice earthiness to the finish. And it's also $20, and it's also high-end tasting, and you also get a big bang for your buck when you drink this wine. Lastly, I just wanted to touch upon a white, because there's white Cote du Rhones. This is a really beautiful white Cote du Rhone. It's from an estate called the Chasse. Delicious wine. It's mainly Grenache Blanc. It's got a little Viognier in it, and it could also have a white Cote du Rhone can also have Roussanne, Marsanne, and some other grape varietals as well. They're generally blends, and but this one happens to be Grenache Blanc Viognier. Delicious, concentrated. It's got some nice tropical fruit. Kind of ends very clean, and $13 a bottle. Fantastic white wine from the Rhone region of France. So anyway, it's the fall. The holidays are coming. It's a great time for Cote du Rhones, and might as well give them a shot. They're very food friendly, and they make great pairings with your Thanksgiving meal. So it's my video wine tip of the week. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you again next week. Take care.